Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. There's my voice. Alrighty. Alrighty. This is why we test ourselves. All right. I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me now. I just gave a few moments just for people to file in because I have been doing these streams at random, just not telling anyone. There is this one person. I know their YouTube handle is Red Eye Fan, and they just have like the worst luck uh, catching my live streams because I really don't promote them at all, which maybe I should start doing. So this has been a hot button issue, hot topic as we approach the Marble League 2022 season. The draw kicks off tomorrow at whatever UTC. I know it's noon Saturday here because I am in that Pacific time. At least I do believe it is noon. Everyone is just trying to see which marble team is the most overrated and which ones are underrated because I guess people aren't paying it. Like a lot of teams will give them credit. They are some sleepers, as in their performances put me to sleep. Uh, so I, I I just need to read off some of these because there's some I don't even know what to make of. Like there's one that's putting the purple rockets and overrated. Never thought of that a whole lot. I don't really think about the purple rockets at all. Uh, I'm just putting people on the spot. All right, let's take a look at this one together, shall we? We got purple rockets overrated. I it's such a weird tier. Because Rojo Roller Snowballs, yeah, they're perfectly rated because they're bad. O Rangers Raspberry Racers, perfectly rated because they're good. So I want to not have those teams like that on the same level, right? So I am going with. So it's got to be like perfectly rated, smack dab. No, it can't be like perfectly neutral, maybe, because I need perfectly rated, but they're good. Like overrated and they're good, perfectly rated and they're bad, underrated because they're bad, or overrated because they're bad, maybe. Uh, so perfectly rated, and should that be the top or the bottom? It's either first or second that I'm rolling with. Uh, I'm gonna say perfectly rated and good. Nah, it's gotta be the overage. So overrated. Yeah, but good. Lot of teams surprises me. A lot of teams overrated but good, and then perfectly rated and good. If I can spell. Yeah, perfectly rated and bad. Perfected rated. There you go. This is what happens when I keep doing these streams randomly at noon, because like, oh yeah, I'll just pop into YouTube for an hour, no problem, no lunch. I really gotta start eating during these or before these. Uh, Perfectly rated and bad, and then overrated. And bad. Snowball's coming back this year. I I remember the chant, because I do believe the chant video was the last stream I've done. That one was just so everywhere, and once it made it to the ratings and rankings channel in the Discord, because people started making their own. It, there was no middle ground. Everyone either completely hated the chants and or completely loved the chants, and nobody had the same opinion on a chant. It was either the best thing ever or the worst thing ever, and it was very amazing. So we got overrated but good, got perfectly rated and good, we got perfectly rated and bad, we got overrated and bad. What should the middle be? Just true neutral? Or may should this be a alignment chart? Should this be a tier or alignment chart? Because I think that was the problem with the structure of all these, all these other tier lists, is that they just did in this normal tier. I might actually make this a alignment chart. Shows you how much planning goes into these. How is everyone doing, by the way? Draws tomorrow, first marble anything in a long time. It's been 70 days since the end of Marbula 1. It's been like 380 days since the end of the Marble League. So we're actually getting some content. I have it on my calendar. Marble League draw. Yes, tomorrow at noon, my time, which my time zone is arguably the worst time zone in the world. And then we got Marble League qualifiers that following Friday, at least for me, again at noon, because I live in the worst time zone. And then November 2nd, everything's kicking off. So it's all happening. It's all coming together. All right, so I'm going to switch this to an alignment chart. Same teams I'm working with, alignment chart. So we're going overrated at the top, and then underrated, overrated. That's what I do during the holidays. I always overate. I always overate meals. Underrated. Yes, there we go. And then good and bad. There we go. There we go. We're cooking, because this is just way easier visually. I don't think we'll see any underrated and bad teams, because all of them are perfectly rated and bad. All right, which one should I start with? I'm feeling the bad teams won't draw a lot of ire from anyone because they're bad. Uh, and then some of these new up forgot you click. I was trying to reorganize them here. Um, Purple Rockets. Let's just move them for here for right now because I wasn't planning on clicking on them. O Rangers. So O Rangers, my O Rangers, I say as the best biased O Rangers fan, as the most biased, I would argue. I say with heavy bias because I am the most biased O Rangers fan. Uh, O Rangers, beautiful team. They are always a contender, always competitive. M M1 victory. Got that Marbula 1 season 3 victory. I don't parade it around enough, mainly because I'm focusing on the Marble League, as should all these other teams. Marble League is where the money's at, it's where the attention's at. O Rangers. Good team, if not the best, I say as a biased O Rangers fan. Uh, Overrated as hell, honestly. And I think it's on part of the fans, and that's what I am going to love the most. You look at any live chat, any live stream, any live premiere. It is all O's, it is all orange emojis. So we up here, we starting off hot. We starting off hot because M1, yeah, it's great, it's beautiful, but falling apart at the end of Marble League 2020, letting the speeders come back, that hurt. But silver medal, still a silver medal, better than 28 other teams. But then falling apart into the next season, into 2021, and not rebounding like they should have. And yet, speeders did worse, but you need that hardware. And O Rangers didn't have a good showing, but it did show up, all the letter O in every single stream, every single event, every single comment section, and I love it. I am here for it. I am a dirty, filthy O Rangers fan, possibly the most biased O Rangers fan. I say with heavy bias, but this is an overrated team. This is an overrated team. They got they gotta back it. They gotta back up the talk because the fans so much. Same with. Should I move on to the speeders next because that is another fan base that is a lot of talk, and yet they have the success previously to back it up, but falling apart. If you are one above the Indigo Stars, you're in the basement. The Indigo Stars start the basement. I might actually do the stars first because a lot of people putting them in underrated and underloved. This is an overrated team. And guess what? They're bad. I wouldn't call them the worst, but they're overrated. Put them in the middle. Put them slightly in the back. This is about 13th. If we're counting off 16 spots at the top, this is about 13th, as well they should be. A lot of the new teams, I feel like the Wolfpack is getting overrated just by proxy because of how much people overhyped the solar flares and how much their performances undersold all that hype. They are overrated if they don't do anything good this next season, then it's just gonna be bad. They will go the way of the Jawbreakers or the Glaciers. They will be the Glaciers. They will be bad again. They will drop off the face of the earth. They'll come back in 3 years and then win bronze out of nowhere. It is the key to success. So, overrated and bad. I guess they just had to, with so much from an expansion franchise that you had to hype up everything. We're experiencing that with the Seattle Kraken. We got a new mascot. I say we like I'm on the team, but we got a new mascot, and people are dragging this mascot. I wanna take a second because if you look at the mascot, right? Their name is Bowie. Their name is Bowie, right? And they're just a little guy, right? They're small, just a small bean, right? This is just a small bean, but it's cute. There's a bridge in Seattle, the Fremont Bridge with the Fremont Troll. If you ever seen 10 Things I Hate About You, Heath Ledger, Performance of a Lifetime, they actually go under that bridge, meet up at the Troll. And people are dragging this mascot and saying it's the ugliest mascot in sports. But you want to look at the other NHL mascots? You want to look at this and say these are hideous. You want to say that out of this bunch, this is the worst? What is this? Is supposed to be a shark. What is this? What are these? Denny's parking lot furry convention looking. This is creepy. And you're telling me this is the ugliest thing ever? Look at Gritty. Look at Gritty. What even is that? Come on. So, solar flares, I know where you're at because you're just getting your sea legs or sun legs or whatever they have because they're marbles, they're smooth spheres, they don't have legs. But I'd say completely overrated. In the worst spot goes the Minty Maniacs because everyone's thinking they're hot, come back after a hiatus, win bronze out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, we're on the up and up. This is the greatest thing ever. We're gonna win the league next year, and completely decay in 16 events as they have in years prior and events prior. They are bad. They are overrated. They are disgusting. And again, I think this is just because I'm biased. I had a video hyping them up. I tried to clout chase because of them. I thought I was on the bandwagon like, hey, maybe I was too mean for this team. And now it's like, no, I was not mean enough for this team. Oh, man. Okay. I want to see where more people put these teams because slightly overrated Turtle Sliders. This is just a random opinion in a mishmash of opinions. But seeing what I do for A quote unquote living like these opinions are leagues ahead of mine. People putting crazy cat size in the slightly overrated. I'm seeing a lot of crazy cat size slightly overrated. I can see it because of their success in Marbula 1, but not as much as success in the Marble League. I can see them being overrated. Um, but in terms of, competitive teams, I think they'll have a good 2022. Now that I said it, I jinxed them, so sorry, Crazy Cat's Eyes. I wouldn't call them the best team ever, but I wouldn't call them the most overrated team. Uh, right in the middle of this quadrant, I'm calling it CC. Oh, hi, Momo Kai. Yeah. All right. Should I do Team Momo next? I'll save Team Momo for a later point. Just tease you with that. All right. Where are we at? Mellow Yellow. Yelly retired. I'm not sure if y'all caught that news. Retiring a champion. Sometimes you just don't have another season in you. Uh, and I respect the decision. Just hang them up. You win. Uh, Mellow Yellow, good team. I don't know, maybe as a filthy O Rangers fan, I actually put them more toward underrated. I think because of how much they flip flop. They have good seasons, they have bad seasons. They literally have the best seasons and the worst seasons you can have aside from not qualifying. I wouldn't put them completely underrated. I'd probably put them more middle of the road, but they are one of the best teams to ever do that. And I say that as probably the most biased O Rangers fan, a known rival of Mellow Yellow. Uh, but middle of the road because they're not a middle of the road team. It's just their good years and their bad years cancel each other out. It's just like frequencies when you want to zero out some background noise, you just mirror it, do a 180, and all those waves cancel out. So they are like perfectly rated middle of the road, and I think all the opinions will cancel each other out because a lot of people say underrated, a lot of people say overrated, a lot of people say perfectly rated. That cancels out into perfectly rated. I think Mellow Yellow, good, perfectly rated, and I honestly think you will never find another team right where Mellow Yellow is currently. We'll have to wait a couple years for, I don't know, some other team to win 3 straight. Uh, Speaking of winning 3 straight, the Cobalts. I think the Cobalts are bad and overrated. They can only win things that don't matter. And even when they're good, they're bad. You could chalk it up to their floundering in Marbula 1. You could chalk it up to them never making it to the big show. They are overrated, but not. I might put them down below everyone else, but they are right there. That is a good spot for them. Yeah, no, right. Everyone knows where the snowballs are. They are perfectly rated because they're bad. No one is overrating the snowballs. No one has high hopes for the snowballs. It's like having high hopes for the Seattle Mariners in the ALDS. As soon as I saw Robbie Ray step on the mound, I knew it was over. I knew it was over. Robbie Ray goes on the mound, we already lost. That being said, it returns to Seattle, first postseason baseball game in the city of Seattle since 2001, April 21st, I do believe. But yeah, Snowballs, I'm always amazed. They're the only team to be in two Marble Leagues without qualifying for either of them. I think that should be like the top line on their resumes because that is an insane stat. I'm reading through the chat right now because there is a bit of a delay. Yeah, QQ Mariners fan, that is pain. Uh, Team primary underrated. Cobalts have a good chance to qualify. Any given Sunday. That being said, we'll have to wait. I will be back here. I might not be back here live tomorrow after the draw, but I will break down the draw and see how good each team's chances are of qualifying because we'll see if the Cobalts end up in a quote unquote group of death, then it'll be an uphill battle. But if it's one that is just full of other showdown teams, if the Rollers make it in their group, if the Snowballs are there, if the Sliders are there, then the Cobalts will have a chance. I am so scared for this year as an Rangers fan. So, what teams have I been mentioning? Team primary. People saying team primary underrated. There's some issues. I don't think they've been moving anyone else around. They just booted Mary, and I don't think any reserves came up for them. They are not competitive. they're bad. I wouldn't say they're overrated, but they're definitely not underrated. I'm gonna say like right here because oh yeah, this is the year, this is the event. Team primary gonna do well, and they never do well. You have Prim carrying Mary and Marbula 1. You have everything going wrong when it can go wrong. Bottom left corner for team primary. But if they're how would a team be underrated and bad is the issue. That I guess their performance of being bad is inspiring in and of itself. That I didn't know the basement could get this low. Okay, I'm starting to see. I'm starting to see the light. I think the Midnight Wisps are underrated and bad. I think they're more competitive than other bad teams that we have, chilling up here in the top left. Maybe I'm just confusing underrated with forgettable, because they win 2018, but they can never back up that success. They missed out on the Marble League last year. They all I forget where they landed in the showdown, but I know it wasn't good. Yeah, is it a fluke? Is it actually a fluke that happened in 2018 though? I say if it is a fluke, we'll find out after this year. Because in terms of bad teams, they're ones that have some previous success behind them. I guess is a thing. They do have the longest gold drought, and I'm pretty sure Team Galactic has the longest podium drought. Yeah, fourth in 2020, but that let them slide into the showdown because they miss out on auto qualification and they miss out on qualification, and it's all thanks to these. I am trying to move it around. Ah, ah, bad team, overrated, bad. I'd say overrated, underrated, and bad because they do have more life in them than other franchises. That being said, Turtle Sliders, I think, are no okay. I don't know where to put them. They're bad. I know that they're over on this side. I think maybe a bit underrated, mainly because people forget they exist. I forget they exist a lot of the time. They are the team I have the least footage of. I have no footage. I have like 5 gigs of Marble League events and Marbula 1 and Showdown, and they are the team I have the least on. It's amazing. Um, yeah, wisps are bad. One of the comments is just hi Dino. Hi. How are y'all doing? Enjoying the stream so far? We're like I'm bad at math. Less than a half, but more than a third. What's an awkward unit of measurement? We're 7/16 of the way through. Kind of like a 7/16 inch wrench because we'll use anything but the metric system. Glaciers. These are words that will, without a doubt, come back to bite me. But they are better than most. I can't use. I think they are underrated. Gliding Glaciers will finish like 15th this season. I think Glaciers are underrated. I think this is a fluke. Is it a fluke? I don't know what to think. I'm gonna leave him with the Purple Rockets. I don't know what to think about him. This one is tough. It's like a Sudoku, but I'm filling in all the squares as I go, and still somehow failing. So I will say the one team I have an actual opinion on. An actual opinion on being underrated going into this video. Shining Swarm. They almost won the whole shebang-a-bang despite sort of like being bad throughout the whole year. It was amazing seeing them with a chance, but not the O Rangers. And it pained me last year seeing all the math worked out on this that the Shining Swarm had a chance, but not the O Rangers. So I'm saying they are unrelated and all right. They are all right. But they really are an underrated team, mainly because not a lot of people rooting for them at all the teams. I'm actually gonna drop a poll. Uh, because like I'm probably the most biased fan of the O Rangers and probably their number one fan. I say heavy bias, the heaviest bias. We're talking neutron star dense. We're talking astronomical heaviness with bias. I am the number one O Rangers fan because I will be with them through thick and thin, which is probably gonna be a lot of thin this season coming up. But I also, I like Team Momo. I like the Hazers. But in terms of being the fan, the team that you will have a T-shirt or posters of, are you a Shining Swarm fan? Yes or no? And I'm dropping that poll in. Are you a Shining Swarm fan? Because I want to know what that must feel like. Because I think the main reason why they're so underrated is because no one really thinks about them. And I saw them almost win the Marble League in Marble Cross. I saw their names flashing gold. And I'm like, I can't even name a member of their team. I can't. Yeah, not a fan, but I appreciate. It's like the Marge meme. Well, I think they're neat. Man. All right, speeders. I think there's a moment of truth. The speeders, best team to ever do it, bar none. They kind of were bad, not kind of, they just were bad last year. Was it a slump? Remains to be seen. Will it be the start of a new era? I hope so, because I am a filthy O Rangers fan. The fans of the Savage Speeders are, on par with the fans of any Boston sports team, because Boston sports have been winning for the past 20 years. They've been competitive for the past 20 years. They have arguably too much success for the fact that this is a town that pooped on Bill Russell's bed, but for the fact that the Speeders have the success that they've had, I think their success outweighs the cringe of their fan base. So they are good and they are overrated, but not as overrated as the O Rangers. I think that is like a quality placement for the Savage Speeders. Balls of Chaos number one, says the most biased Balls of Chaos fan. Where do the Balls of Chaos go? Because they're bad. They're overrated and bad. But they had success? No, they didn't. They did not have success. How many golds is it? I'm going to look this up, actually, really quick. I'm going to see Balls of Chaos What's their overall standing like? Oh yeah, they were Garboni in Marble Maniacs, but we don't talk about Marble Maniacs. All right, they have yeah, they took fifth place in 2018. They have 3 overall golds, 4 overall silvers, 2 overall bronzes. Not like the worst thing in the world. They have 360 total points from the Marple League. Let's compare that with the Savage Speeders, because the Savage Speeders are the Savage Speeders. Uh, I'm pulling these off the wiki. I always do my research off of Wikipedia. They have Savage Speeders have 13 gold medals, 7 silver, 6 bronze, for a total of 26 medals and 820 overall Marble League points. That is, in my A1 opinion, disgusting. That is just disgusting. All right, where are we at? Balls of Chaos. Yeah, Balls of Chaos are overrated, but they are. They're just not good. But I think that's what the appreciation and the admiration from their fans comes from. That you root for them because they're chaotic. You know, they are bad, but that's chaos. And if they're good, then oh wow, we're actually good. So it's win-win, really. So overrated, middle of the road. They also have an alright chant for reasons people already know. We are getting into some bad teams. Actually, there's still some good teams. I think Raspberry Racers underrated. I think they're a bit underrated because you know if you're a fan of the Fruit Circuit team, you're damn sure not going to be a fan of the Limers. You're going to be a fan of the O Rangers. I say as the most biased O Rangers fan. That the Raspberry Racers got second, and reverse starting order, yada yada. They could have gotten their second overall Marble League win, but I think people are sleeping on their success from this previous year, and I think people are sleeping on their gold from 2019, mainly because we remember 2019 as the no Oceanics year. Uh, One of the more iconic moments, the fans leaving the stadium and then storming the stage after the closing ceremonies, after all the confetti has been swept up, after all the streamers have been taken down, that they stormed the stage, stormed the podium. But oh, the Raspberry Racers, really good, not getting enough love. Not getting enough love. Uh, oh yeah, we're having lot of no's. How? What is 27% of 30? I failed math. But yeah, Shining Storm. Not a lot of fans there. Oh, a little generous on the Indigo Stars. Yeah, like Limers are overrated that they go to Washington. See, being from Washington, uh, I default to people thinking that if you say Washington, you mean Washington D.C. and never the state of Washington. And really, when people talk about the state of Washington, they just mean Seattle. Uh, so I'm assuming that you're talking about Washington State. Uh, yeah, Razzie's definitely underrated. Limer's underrated. I think they are rated. They are rated. They're definitely not underrated because there's no success in that future. But they're bad. One of the worst to ever do it. And I'm gonna put them above the snowballs. Look at this. It's like a charcuterie board of pain. Could you imagine all these teams qualifying this year? Imagine that. Imagine these teams qualify, these teams don't. If you tell me, like, if I black out, wake up next month, see these teams in the Marble League, these teams are not in the Marble League, I'll believe you. I'll believe you. It's 2022. Sanity is out the window. Nothing means anything anymore. This is unprecedented times, unprecedented future. It's gonna be like 80 degrees tomorrow. It's mid-October. We haven't gotten any rainfall in actual months, and we're gonna get rain allegedly not this Saturday but next Saturday, and that's like, this is supposed to be where rain happens, not no 80 degrees of summer. That's like the hottest it gets in the summer, or at least it should have been, but now, oof. Speaking about hot, the Pinkies, they're hot pink and hot garbage. uh I'd say they're up there with the Minty Maniacs. Pinkies overrated. They're no success. We're moving right there. That's good. Yeah. Not as overrated as the Cobalts, but way worse than the Cobalts. Yeah, no Shining Swarm love. I know. I think people should love on the Shining Swarm more. I will not be one of those people. Um, I was freaking out watching the last couple events of last year's Marble League because the Shining Swarm had a real shot of winning it, and I had to write material on them and talk about them in a positive lighting. Never wanted it to happen. Um, you know what? I'm leaving the Purple Rockets where they are because I don't know what to think about them. Nobody knows what to think about them. I think the Glaciers are underrated. Underrated and alright. Dare I say it? Dare I say it? The Glaciers are better than the Swarm. There we go. That is underrated. This will come back to haunt me for the next 10 Marble Leagues when they can't crawl their way out of the bottom four of the showdown. But as it stands, Glaciers right there. Wisps aren't making it. Yeah, Purple Rockets perfectly neutral. This is beautiful. All right. Glaciers will take 10th. That's generous. Honestly, 10th is okay. That is I mean, Rangers got 10th in 2021, so like that is the cool kids club. Yeah, 10th is very optimistic for the Glaciers. Uh, Hazers. I know a lot of Hazers fans watching. Uh, they are good. They did have that collapse in 2021. They got the bronze in 2019. I don't think people overhype them. I think they really just hold their breath and cross their fingers day in and day out. I think they're good, but not too good, right? They're not in this they're not in this club. Um, Definitely better than the Crazy Cat's Eyes. Definitely underrated in terms of like actual competitive teams going. You know, you hop on the Ducks bandwagon, you hop on the Rangers bandwagon, the Speeders bandwagon, because those are easy bandwagons. Hazers, they get slept on. I think we're sleeping on them, and I think they might actually miss out on qualifying because that's just the narrative they set up. Most medals in one marble league. Not only do you not win, you don't make the podium, slide into fourth, like the downward spiral, exponential decay. You're just gonna whoop. I can't whistle, so that's the best I can do. Just whoop right into the showdown, like whoops a daisy. Happened to the Midnight Wisps. Wouldn't be surprised if it happened to the Hazers. But as it stands, Hazers, good team, slept on. You did not say that the Hazers are way better than the Cat's Eyes. If it were up to me, I would have had the Hazers host over the Cat's Eyes. I would like the fog themes that the Hazers would have if they hosted. Just smoke machines everywhere. There's this game, football game, because I'm a football nerd. NFL prime time. This is a playoff game. Divisional round 1980 something. Dub Bears in Chicago hosting the Niners, I do believe. And this fog rolls in off of the ocean and just settles in the stadium. And the announcers can't see anything. They're just making the game up as they go. I would love to see Greg Woods uh, announce an event in which you just cannot see the marbles at all or just barely. Uh, but yeah, no, Hazer's better than. I'm just gonna put that. I'm not even going to put that as a poll because this is not opinion. This is fact. Hazer's better than CC. Yeah, if there is block pushing in the qualifiers, I will hide my face. Uh, Thunderbolts. Gotta say, for the fact that they almost won 2021 with no medals, for the fact that they got bronze in the first Marble League with a horrible scoring system and a completely different roster, I will say they are overrated. I'm definitely not gonna do it. Should I put? I'm not gonna put them over the Crazy Cat size. I'm gonna put them, but as they come, Thunderbolt's pretty overrated. Gotta say. Wolfpack might do good. I think the Wolfpack will be all right. Um. Uh. That being said, just by proxy, because of how everyone overhyped, um, Yeah, I might actually put them underrated. I think they might do well, but like, I have no idea. Completely new team. We have no idea. Drop my chapstick. Uh, Green Ducks. A lot of people wanting to know Green Ducks. A lot of people say Green Ducks overrated. I don't see the Green Ducks. Again, back into this original thread. A lot of overrated. A lot of overrated. Jesus. But, you know, a couple underrateds. Maybe people are just blinded by their first season getting bronze. I forgot that they took no silver. Took silver 2019. Sheesh. Um, Green Ducks perfectly rated. Seeing overrated as hell. Uh, Sheesh. 2022 might be the best league ever. I hope so. 2020 was probably the best in terms of production because we had John Oliver drop a bag on production. I honestly think in terms of play, 2019 is like S tier Marble League. Uh, what team was I talking about? The Ducks. That's right. I think it's a sophomore slump. Um, that being said, I do believe they are the least bit overrated, but still good. I am putting them. Yeah, I'm liking that placement. They're overrated, not totally, just because their past few years haven't been the best, and they are hosting, which you don't need to uh, prove your merit. The friendly round exists just so the auto qualify teams can have a warm up practice. But other than that, I think the Green Ducks go. They had sophomore, junior, senior, super senior slump. Maybe host curse. You gotta censor that in the Discord because uh, you might. I actually don't know what the superstition is with the host curse. I think the Green Ducks will be fine. Although, if they do too well, it might be talks of home field advantage. You know, maybe something else. Maybe the fix is on. Maybe they pay off the refs. If the refs are local, I don't know where the referees are from. Uh, but Green Ducks, right there. Right there. That is good. I say Galactic overrated. Yeah, Team Galact fifth. I think they are perfectly rated because they know where they are. Fifth place in anything, but bad. Longest, I forget which one it is. Longest gold drought or longest podium drought? I think longest gold droughts are the Wisps. Longest podium drought is Team Galactic. I do believe. They ain't good. I'm putting it out there. They ain't good. Yeah, Team Galact 5th really is Team Galact 11 through 12. Uh, yeah, the joke, Chris. Galactic. Yeah. Alright, again, nitty gritty time. I'm gonna do Momo. I want to put them in underrated so bad because I have a soft spot in my heart for Momo. Uh, but in terms of like 2021, they really could have won it. They promise, had promise. They're definitely better than Galactic. Definitely better than Galactic. But still haven't had that success. You fall apart in 2021. Had all those medals, just injured. That was their first really prominent season because they didn't have any injuries. Um, Overrate them. Momo mid. Momo's overrated because of injuries. Wouldn't that make them underrated? Because we actually don't know what a healthy Team Momo looks like. Although we did, and then they overhyped everything because like, oh, this team is gonna steamroll to their best year ever. We're talking like best season ever, bar none. Just win the remaining golds, and then they just didn't. Um, so they're good, but not Thunderbolts good, and they're overrated. Um, Mid of overrated. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Yeah, well, Oceanics overrated, bad. It wasn't a host curse. It was a 2018 was just a completely fluke season. The Savage Speeders almost won it without winning a single gold because it was just a fluke year. Oceanics shouldn't have been on that podium. Really should have been the O Rangers. They took fourth. Oceanics hosted that, freed up that wild card spot. O Rangers auto qual by proxy, which, let's be real, they probably shouldn't have. I think they would have been fine. That would have been laughable if they missed out in 2019, but they didn't because they auto qualified. But Oceanics, no, dumpster fire. Yep, those water events. I'm going to love the return of water events. There's gonna be rafting. There's gonna be diving. There's gonna be an underwater race. I think. I hope. It needs to happen. It'll be magnificent. Oh, I'm recording. I saw a red light on my OBS icon down on my taskbar. I'm like, what is that? I'm recording. I'm using it right now. All right, so now we are getting into the teams of all time. Uh, I think the best of these teams, honestly, are the Chocolatiers, and that's not saying anything. Love their chant, though. Love their chant. Chocolate. 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 Man, I really gotta title this stream, the stream when Curtis Broadman of Thesaurus Anasaurus loses his damn mind, because I am kind of losing my damn mind. Rating all these teams because there's 32 of these teams. They're definitely not underrated. They're definitely not good. But they're definitely not overrated because nobody thinks of them. I think they're perfectly rated. I think they're perfectly rated and bad, but they still have more life. Let's check out these Chocolatiers stats because I really need to know. I need to do my homework. I need to watch more film on this. They have 2 golds overall. 4 silver and 2 bronze. More Marble League points than the Balls of Chaos in, I believe, fewer appearances. This is what I get for... Yeah. No. Okay, they have the same number of appearances. But that's another one of those teams. I think of the Chalks. I kind of do. They're mid. Yeah, worse than Galactic. Better than the Solar Flares, though. There we are. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, like there's a lot of hope for the Chocolatiers. We'll see. Maybe 2022 is that year. Blackjacks. Gotta say, might be overrated. Might be. I'm gonna leave them here because Plasma's definitely overrated. If it was up to me, I would have not even put Team Plasma back in the Marble League in the first place. I would have gone with the Golden Orbs because that is a team deserving a second chance. And I think part of my bias comes from the snow race where they win without crossing the finish line because nobody crossed the finish line. So overrated, bad. Minties are still worse than the Oceanics. Overrated team. Blackjack's overrated. Seen a lot of Blackjack's overrated. Plasma goated. Orbs overrated. Orbs are perfectly rated. They're bad, but still better than Plasma. Blackjacks, they're bad. They're overrated. Not as bad or as overrated as some teams. I'm gonna put them better than Indigo Stars, because why not? Why not? They won a thing, I think. No, they took dead last. What was the outcome of Marble Maniacs? I keep forgetting because I keep not thinking about Marble Maniacs. Alright, final standing at Blackjacks. I hate to do it. I gotta put them... Wow, it's actually above the Cobalts. Just gonna move this over there. Yeah. No, that is not good. That is not... Como se dice not good. Alright, 3 left. I think Bumblebees. They got a lot of success in a league that doesn't exist anymore. And a team that doesn't exist anymore because they do have the Hornets roster and actually moved a few of the former Hornets up, which, unless something drastic changes, is the closest we'll get to any semblance of free agency in the Marble League. They're bad. Not as bad as other teams. Yeah. I think that's a great place. Underrated but bad. Yeah, Jungle Jumpers will definitely miss out by 2 points. By 2 points. They'll probably fall off something, or if there's a sand portion, they'll get stuck but bemoan there's a track defect, and they'll get awarded 2 consolation points, which will still be 2 points short. Uh, they are bad. What are the stats on these jumpers? Because they've at least been to the league. A lot of okay, apparently that's there we go. Need the marbles. At least they've been to the qualifiers. Yeah, I mean, like, Turtle Slider's barely even been to the qualifiers. Jumpers have at least been to the Marble League. They have 3 golds and 2 bronzes in 2 appearances. That's bad, but I don't think anyone's going to parade them around. I think they are perfectly rated because they're so bad. They're still better than the Bumblebees and better than the Cobalts. There we are. All right. Last but not least, Rojo Rollers. They are in this mix. Let's not even have them visible. Let's not even have them visible. They don't belong on the graph. Do you want to go to Denny's after the stream? I wish. But honestly, like, I wouldn't go to Denny's. I might just make Denny's at home. Make myself a grand slamwich. I think, like, people really say there's no God, but then there's a grand slamwich. Like, the grand slamwich cannot exist without divine intervention. That was not the will of man, that's the will of God. And it's the will of me putting the Rojo Rollers on this chart in a place where you cannot see them because they are just that bad. They don't belong on this chart. Yeah, the logo, the rollers are tucked away behind the snowballs. I think they are the perfect yin yang, the perfect T-Momo logo, where they exist in a harmony, a balance of being so bad, but everyone is honest with the fact that they're garbage. Because they are the same garbage in their own unique ways. Snowballs never qualified, but at least have been by way of invitation and hosting. Rojo Rollers qualified, but finished in 16th place. Like, you can finish in 16th place in the showdown now. How is that gonna work? Is relegation expanding to 8 teams now? Cause I'd panic. It better stay as 4 and just have more teams in qualification. Because, oh dear God, if relegation bumps up to 8. Or maybe you just don't have relegation. You just have 16 teams in the showdown. You have all 28 because you have 4 auto-qual spots and then the rest fighting for 12. That's going to be a lot. All right. So that is my chart. I'm gonna save it. because it don't get no better than this. All right. I hope you all have a great remainder of your day. Enjoy the outro music. Enjoy the outro Waluigi. I'm gonna get some food in me because your boy needs to eat. Someone mentioned Denny's, so now I can only think about the food I can make. Uh, Also, Philosophy Tunes, congrats on the 10K subs. I will be there someday. God, I hope so. Um, but take care. Did I mention there's Waluigi? Because there is Waluigi. Bye. Queuing up the outro. Okay. Oh, goodbye.